This is Alan Steinfeld for New Realities. I am joined with my good friend Lauren Francesca and a very special guest, Dr. Geoffrey Broderick, probably the best vet I've ever met. And I'm glad we all finally made it here. I want you to talk to Lauren's dog, George, doctor.
George.
He's been having some problems.
Hey.
Yeah. He's been having some problems. Lauren, do you want to tell doctor what the problems with
George? First of all, George has got cataracts.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, they said that it was like degenerating, but not total cataracts yet. You think he has cataracts?
Not total, but I can see George's cataracts. Hey, Noah, come here, baby.
Noah is Dr. Broderick's dog.
No, Noah is my patient.
Oh,
Noah has a very advanced cancer, and I've been working on Noah maybe 8 hours a day.
Wow.
What do you do for him? I mean, and I also want to know why all these dogs are getting so sick.
The dogs are getting sick because they're eating dog food.
Right.
What are you feeding, Francesca?
George gets home cooked meals.
I mean, Lauren. She has two. You have two first names.
Yes. We cook for him. So he gets steak and meat and chicken every night. He doesn't like vegetables. I tried to put, vegetables in it. Just he won't eat it. He'll eat around the vegetables.
Tell doctor what the problem with George is, and let's see if he has some ideas.
So George had open heart surgery in December. I went to London for a month and got George open heart surgery. So he did mitral valve repair and five bands put in. And then he has anal gland cancer. He got it removed, but he got it removed. He did radiation, and now he's on chemo.
Why is that happening?
Is that okay?
Yeah.
You sure?
Looks great.
Okay.
Why is that happening to George?
That sounds like some fancy surgery.
It was very, very fancy.
How much was it?
For the heart surgery, it was about 17,000 pounds. So
17,000 pounds is $30,000.
Basically, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
What?
George, you got a good mommy, George.
What do you think she could have done? Was that her only option?
Heart failure 3 times in the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, it was scary.
So who did it? Who did the surgery?
Dr. Brockman at Royal Veterinary College.
Oh, cool. I've been there.
It's beautiful, beautiful college. Beautiful.
Yeah. In London.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. Really, they don't have the surgery here. I wish they did. It would have been. Actually, they're trying to bring it to Florida, but they want to charge $45,000 for it. So I kind of saved money by going to London, but yeah.
Yeah, but I know that's not why you went. You went to find the best, and that's what you did. Because, hey, Noah, come here. Come and say hello.
Noah.
What are you doing? What's wrong with Noah? What are you doing for Noah 8 hours a day, Dr. Broderick?
Noah has a hemangiosarcoma, and I'm using 13 different things that I'm giving him to keep him alive with transfusions and other stuff that I really don't know whether I can talk about it or not. some idiot come and shut me down. I'm using ozone.
Okay, and what does ozone do for dogs and people?
What ozone does is cancer is a very, very, very primitive type of cellular function. Okay, cancer is where everything was wild, and it was 1 billion years ago, and so there was no clouds. There were no clouds, and there was no oxygen in the environment. And then as the earth cooled, you got oxygen in the environment. And the oxygen caused cellular reproduction where you got a plant to grow. Then the plants came and produced carbon dioxide. And the carbon dioxide split off into oxygen. And that's what the plants released. The plants grew because they ate the carbon dioxide, and then they grew to produce, the plant would yield oxygen. And then when you got oxygen from the plants that were here before, then the animal type cells started to grow. And that's how it was billions of years ago. And so but cancer cells they cannot live in an oxygen environment. And so we produce hyperoxygen by using
Ozone?
O3. So you can use hydrogen peroxide, that's H2O2. Ozone is O3. So it's really hyper. So that's one of the things that I've been using. The other one is massive doses of vitamin C, which I just happen to be Alan knows who Linus Pauling was.
Right.
Okay. Do you know who Linus Pauling was? Okay. All right. Linus Pauling was like a big brother to me. And he was a disciple of Albert Szent-Györgyi, who found the vitamin C molecule. And he found that because Lord Admiral Nelson found that when his trips to the Mediterranean and Italy and all over the place, there were lemons. And other places there were limes. So his men loved the taste of limes in their water, so they brought back sackfuls of lemons and limes into the ships in Admiral Nelson's fleet. And can you see me looking right in your eyes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I want to do. Okay, so Nelson discovered that his men stopped getting scurvy. And this is one of the greatest diseases in the world was scurvy. And he found that they didn't get scurvy. So he went to the people, the British Admiralty, because the British owned the world at this time. Okay? There wasn't one day where there was light. There wasn't light on something that was owned by the British. So the slogan was, "The sun never sets on the British Empire." Okay, that's how vast it was. Okay, and including the America and the states and all that were colonies. So there were colonies all over the world. So Admiral Nelson sailed all over the world, but these guys got scurvy, and they had to go and they had to find native people of these different lands, India and China and Australia, and I mean they just around the world, they just controlled the world. But they had to stop and recoup and everything and eat fresh food, because that's how they got rid of the scurvy. And scurvy is like your joints rot away. This is a terrible, terrible, terrible disease. So this is what we tried to do during COVID-19. COVID-19, I call it, okay? And so So COVID-19 has a lot of covert things about it. But anyway, what happened is that we tried to get a hold of Donald Trump. We tried to get a hold of Andy Cuomo. We tried to get a hold of Fauci. We tried to get a hold of all these people. No answers, no way. Couldn't get a hold of them. No. So all these billions of dollars were spent on a thing where the vitamin C intravenously would work and get these people better. Okay? So we go back now to Linus Pauling, who I met because I was one of the 3 veterinarians in the world invited to come and present a paper and receive an award from the Committee for World Health. And this is, right around 1980. I have to look at the programs. I have to turn around to do it. It's hanging on the wall behind me. I don't know whether you can see that. Anyway, so Linus Pauling and I got the same awards. Linus Pauling, the medical profession spent untold, which will never be told, amounts of money trying to discredit this guy for what he did. Anyway, we in the mid 70s, we had a virus that would make Corona 19 look like a pussycat virus. I mean, this is insane, right? This virus just destroyed. It was called coronavirus. It was, I'm sorry, it was called parvovirus. It was called parvovirus. We're dealing with corona now, okay? And so we had, in this office where I am now, we had my whole staff sleep here for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 nights. We took shifts going home. But I was here the entire time. So I was here for 4 or 5 nights. And we had 30 to 40 dogs in here. And with all intravenous vitamin C going on. This is what we had. And nobody went home. And we cured 87% of them.
Wow.
87%. From what I understand, the death rate in the United States was 87%. We reversed and kept alive. Of course, you're not allowed to use the word cure unless you use a drug with maximum side effects that do nasty things, okay? But we got dying animals, hundreds of them, through my clinic. We got 87% of them better. You know, nothing's perfect, but we sent home animals that lived the rest of their life out 87% when the information that I've always had from people that are really in the know, you know, and there's not a lot of people in the know. There's a lot of misinformation out there. But the people in the know that I dealt with, like Baker and Belfield and Bobby Cathcart and Linus's people, okay, and so we wound up getting this beautiful awards all together. And there were 3 veterinarians, Broderick, Baker, and Belfield. And Baker died a while ago. Belfield died last year at 92. And Broderick, I don't know, wait a minute, hold it. Ow! No, he's still with us. Okay. For now, until you release this video, and then they'll come and get me.
Right.
So I have, what kind of cancer does your dog, like, because my dog has anal gland cancer. Is that the same kind of tumor?
No, this is worse. than anal gland cancer.
What-
So we can, we can talk about this.
But
So,
I also am interested,
I mean,
why,
I'm only a half an hour away from you.
why would her dog get that? Oh, I'm just curious, why would
Sorry,
he?
Alan, I was over talking you. Go ahead,
Oh,
buddy.
no, I was just wondering why George would get such an illness like anal gland
Why
cancer.
would he get it?
Yeah, how does that happen?
He got it from the garbage pet food that she was feeding. What were you feeding?
I cooked food, hamburgers, chicken, steak.
Okay, that's not garbage pet food.
No.
It's all human food.
Yeah.
It's all human food. But was everything in that food USDA certified organic?
No.
There's your answer. Okay.
Mhm.
And people go, well, organic, there's things wrong with organic, and then you buy a Ford and you get hit in the backside with the Ford blows up, but I'm going to get another Ford because I'm a Ford man, all right? A Ford man, okay? So and everybody goes and fixes this stuff, but nobody fixes the pet food business, all right? Nobody fixes that. So what you're, move over, Lauren. No, yeah, there you go.
Okay.
More. Sit still, I can't follow you. You're going in and out.
Sorry.
All right. So, no. What you did was you fed human food. But what you were doing is feeding the food that you eat. The same food that you eat, right?
Yeah.
You were feeding George what you ate.
Well, no,
Is
not
that
what. No. We were cooking specifically for George.
Okay, but were you eating that same food that
No.
you were giving to George?
No.
Why?
Because I didn't put any salt on it, or I didn't cook with butter or anything. Just
But George had some pre-existing conditions before that happened, Lauren. So maybe some of it was the effect. What happened before that?
Well, I was telling you he got attacked by a pit bull who bit his butt, and so he
No,
had a tumor.
the pit bull didn't come in a dog food box. What kind of dog food were you on? Now, Alan just brought this up, not me. Okay. What caused the pre-existing condition, Lawrence?
I don't know. I didn't. He's never.
So what were you feeding him?
Hamburgers, chicken.
No, you never fed him any kind of pet food?
No, he won't eat it. He's very picky.
Okay, never in his life did he have pet food?
Nope, he won't eat it. He he puts his head up. If he's at a
Okay.
friend's house, sometimes he'll eat the cat's food. I don't know why he does that, but that's happened like twice.
He ate the cat food.
He ate the cat food.
Get this condition by eating cat food twice. Okay, what he got, and this is really, really important. What he got was he got sick from human food that you were feeding because he wouldn't eat that other crap called dog food. Okay. You never ate dog food, did you?
No.
Okay. Did you ever go to the veterinarian and get dog food from the veterinarian?
They've given it to me, and they're like, "Oh, he'll eat this," and he never eats it. He knows what it is, and he's so picky.
I bet he would eat Dr. Broderick's food.
Well, I gotta try it. Yeah.
Okay. So, but here's the point. You were giving, and the veterinarian who sold you the food and gave you the food and gave you samples and all that stuff, that veterinarian never ate that food in his or her life. Never. But they'd sell it. So when I make cornucopia, there is no federal inspector in pet food. But in a meat packing plant, and a chicken packing plant, and a beef packing plant, and a pork packing plant, there are federal inspectors in there. The only inspector that any of us know about in that has anything to do with veterinary medicine is me. I'm the only doctor out of 3 million doctors. There's about 3 million doctors in the United States.
Vets, 3 million vets.
No, not pets. 3
Vets.
million. 3 million. What?
3 million veterinarians or regular doctors, you're saying?
No. Regular, what does that mean? They have normal bowel movements? That makes them regular? Okay.
No,
I don't know any
We're
doctor.
talking about MDs, not vets. Okay, I didn't know if you were talking about vets or MDs.
So here's what you got. You got 100 and some thousand veterinary medical doctors. You've got 1 million human medical doctors. You have 500,000 dentists. You have shrinks all over the place. We're not going to go into shrinks, okay? But they're psychiatrists and so on. And so when you add them all up together, and then there's who does the adjustment on you?
Chiropractor.
Yeah, right, chiropractors. So when you put all these guys together, and guys meaning guys and girls, okay? When you put them all together, you get about 3 million, all right? Out of the 3 million, somebody came to the show. The last show we were at, Alan, was Mark Becker's show.
Right.
In the New Yorker hotel, right?
Right.
The New Yorker hotel. So a couple of guys showed up there and they said, "We want to talk to you." I said, "Okay, how can I help you?" He says, "No, we want to help you. We want to tell you something." So I said, "Okay, tell me." "No, I gotta ask you a couple of questions first." I said, "Okay." He said, we did a study on you and we know a lot about you." So I go, "All right, Jesus, now what?" Now what? Come on, I gotta hear this one. Okay, what do you got on me? But we'll tell you in a minute. But first of all, what is the major cause what is the major cause of death in the United States? They said, these two guys. What's the major cause of death? What causes sickness? What's the determining factor of what causes people to be sick and die early? Or what causes people to live long and long? Okay? So I said, well, there's two things. You got to be born Japanese, or you got to be born Sicilian, or you got to be born on, in one of those islands in the like Sardinia, okay, something like that. These are blue zone people. These are blue zone people, and so because they said, well, what determines that? I said, because these people all have a similar diet. No matter where they're from, they all have a similar diet, and it's the food. So he goes, so you're saying that what determines how long you live or how fast you die is determined by the food that you eat. And I said, that is correct. That's what I think. That's my belief. And they said, well, what about genetics? I said, genetics has something to do with it. But now genetics has gone the wrong way, because the genetic modification of food has made the food into God-sent food, along with Mother Teresa and Padre Pio and everybody else that's in the spirit world that really has something to do with something wonderful going on. These people are people unique to the race of man. Okay. And the thing that's unique about them is they never did any harm. So before 600 years before Jesus was this guy called Hippocrates. So the medical profession of the United States and so on puts a little tag on Hippocrates. Let's use him. Let's get him in, because we're going to call him the father of medicine. Only they never followed what he said. They just went on his coattails. Okay? Because if they followed what Hippocrates said, then we wouldn't have all these diseases. So somewhere in this mix of things, somebody decided, one of the food companies and everything decided that the spiritual belief is that we've all been here before, right? We've all been here before and done other things at different times. Like Mother Teresa said to me, we've been together before. We're now together, you and I, Geoffrey, we're together in my house in Calcutta, and we're going to be together again. So please never tell me addio, which is the song that I wrote for Mother Teresa and sang it in Rome. Okay? So I'm talking about this stuff. I segued off a little bit. So these guys go, they said, okay, so you're telling me that the major cause of disease and everything is what you eat. I said, yes, what you put in your mouth. Okay, and that includes alcohol, cigarettes, dope, pot, whatever you do, that determines how long you live and how often you're sick. So when I was in Sicily, here I am, and everybody's got a garden. Everybody's got a garden, and they're growing all these herbs and things and everything and stuff. When I was in Korea at 18 years old, they had little gardens and everything, and this is what people did. And in Sardinia and these places where the people live long, and Guam and all these places all over the world where these concentrations of people are centurions. Centurions, is that what it is?
Yeah. You
live 100 years, you're a centurion? Okay. So I said, yes, this is what my belief is. This is my opinion. It's not just my opinion. It's opinion of loads and loads of people that I know, because I hang out with with those kind of people. And Linus Pauling and all this other stuff. So he goes, okay, then tell me, last question. I said, okay, that's it, right? He said, no, last question. And then I'll tell you what we got for you. All right, what's the last question? Come on, let's go already, or forget about it. So he goes, since there's a profound agreement among certain groups of people that your analysis of why people die and why people live and how long they live and how healthy they live is there's quite a few people that believe the way you do. So answer me this, because you're different. You're a doctor. I said, okay, whatever. So here's the final question. Dr. Broderick, how many doctors are there in the United States? I said, I don't know, a couple of million probably. He says, no, well, that's close. 3 million. 3 million doctors. Three. You got the three? 3 million doctors in the United States, about, you know. Of course, somebody look at this video would call me up and say, well, no, Dr. Broderick was wrong because there's 2,987,000 doctors just to have something to rebut what I'm saying, right?
Mhm.
And you know, if I worried about that, I wouldn't be practicing at the age that I'm practicing at. I don't care what other people think. This is what I think. I may be right. I may be wrong. I maybe missing a couple of people. It may be over 3 million. It may be under 3 million. But there's 3 million. Okay.
Okay, we got that.
What do
All
you?
right. So here's the deal. So I said, okay, there's 3 million people. Okay, now, how many of them, and they're all doctors, so that when you want to be a doctor, you want to help people and you want to do stuff. So knowing that the cause of ill health in the vast majority is done by what you eat. How many doctors make food? How many doctors are practicing medicine and make food? So I said, I don't know, there's got to be a pediatrician out there that makes baby food. And they said, beep, nope. And because that's the first thing we looked at. So I said, okay, I give up. No more questions. So what are you trying to tell me? He said, they said, there's only one. Only one what? Only one doctor in the United States of America. This is what they said. Not what I'm saying, but this is what they said. They did the study. That makes food and practices medicine.
So how do you make the food? Do you have a factory? Like, how do you?
Yeah, I have a factory.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
now, where do you practice? Where can people find you if they want to go to your office?
I practice right here where I'm talking to you. This is my hospital.
Where's that?
This is a 229 Wall Street, Wall Street, Huntington, New York. That's halfway out on Long Island on the North Shore.
Is it hard to get an appointment with you? Are you busy now? How is it with everything going on now?
Well, I work 14-hour days.
Wow.
Just Noah. Where are you, Noah?
Yeah,
Noah.
let's see Noah.
Come on, babe. Come on.
Noah back to health.
Come on, honey. Come on in here and join us.
What kind of dog is Noah?
He's a poodle.
Oh, he's a poodle too.
Yeah, let's find Noah.
He's a labradoodle.
Oh.
Okay. So what I do is I work a 14-hour day. We're way over that now for today.
Sorry.
We work normally. It's a 14-hour day, and then on Sunday it's like 8 hours, and that's what I do. So it's 80 to 90 hours a week, and so and I'm here anyway, and then I do Cornucopia at the same time, and I developed it a half a century ago. Today, I think so far, because by the time we get through here, it'll be 12 o'clock, it'll be another day. But today is the 41st day of my 52nd year as a doctor, a surgeon, and a nutritionist.
Wow.
Okay? So, and I'm the only doctor out of 3 million that makes food. That's what their point was.
Right.
So, and then the pet food companies come up and say, well, he lived before because we heard him talking about it, that he's lived before. So what he is the reincarnation of Hippocrates. So that was like a little zing to me. That's what it was meant for, as a little dig, you know?
Yeah.
So I was giving a speech to 40 some doctors one night, and every one of them came up to me after the performance of whatever, my speech, my lecture, and individually said to me, what do you think about that Hippocrates thing? I said, come on, these guys are just, you know, they look at it, you know, throw darts at me or something. Every one of the doctors said to me, Doc, I don't think they're throwing darts. I don't think it was meant to be complimentary, but I think it's true.
Well, you missed the big thing that Hippocrates is known for. Hippocrates says, let food be your medicine and let medicine be your food.
Well, that's what I do. But this little meeting was about, I don't know, a couple of years ago. Not a couple of years ago. It was, the meeting where I said that with the doctors was, you know, a year and a half ago or something like that, where the doctors came to see me, where these two guys came to see me and told me that I was the only doctor in the United States. And I don't know whether it's true or that, but if there isn't, what are there going to be? One more or two more out of 3 million? I mean, who cares?
So I want to ask you some advice about the cancer.
Yeah.
Would you, now George already had his tumor removed, but a lot of cancer dogs follow our stuff. Would you remove a tumor or would you leave it in the body?
What I would do is have you call my nurse, okay? Make an appointment. Come here with the dog, with George, your child, not just a dog. Not just, do you have children?
No, George.
George.
Yeah.
There you go. Your child is George. So here's the whole thing, and we'll go on with this. But here's the concept that I'm trying to bring about to you, is that you never ate pet food. The veterinarians never ate pet food. Your father didn't eat pet food. Your mother didn't eat pet food. Nobody ate pet food. The only person you've ever seen on television, and this is millions of people, I mean millions upon millions of people around the world have seen me eat the food, okay? When I was on Shark Tank,
you ate the food on Shark Tank?
Well, not only did I eat the food on Shark Tank, but Kevin O'Leary ate the food on Shark Tank, okay? So see, you think it's funny, but here's the deal. Here's the deal. The deal is that it is impossible for you, Lauren, to, hold on a second. Okay. It is impossible for you to buy a can of food from me where I haven't eaten a can from that batch. Impossible. No one else in the world can say this. No one else makes food. There is no veterinarian that makes food. They have their crap made by somebody else. They stick their name on it. They call themselves, the most laughable thing is the veterinarian to the stars. I mean, really, it's so frighteningly funny that somebody, because some person in People magazine or something uses their food, they're the veterinarian to the stars. Well, guess what? I'm not the veterinarian to the stars. I'm the veterinarian for the pets. That's what I am.
So where do you sell your food if people want to try, if the dogs want to get it?
I sell it over the internet. Because and because I can do that. On Shark Tank, the reason that the sharks didn't take my deal, the real reason is, and nobody really knows this because we don't really talk about it, but we'll talk about it with you. The real reason is that I don't want a partner. So when I went on, I said to the producer, come here, I want to talk to Doc. No, we're ready to go. You got your white jacket on? You had to have the white coat. The stupid ass white coat, right? I mean, that's the killer. The white coat. Without the white coat, he says, because I teased him. I said I didn't have a white coat. So he sent this assistant of his to run down in Hollywood and go to the Francesca store for uniforms and bring back a white coat. And then he goes to me, wait a second, where's your stethoscope? I said, stethoscope? What do I need do I look like I have a stethoscope on? I don't, right? Thank God. You gotta wear a stethoscope. You have to have a stethoscope on.
All right.
You see all these
people are all asking, where can I buy the dog food?
Yeah, what's the website? What is the website?
Yeah, what's the website?
Oh, the website is Cornucopia, C-O-R-N-U, Cornu, not corna, Cornu, C-O-R-N-U. Cornu means horn. C-O-P-I-A, C-O-R-N-U, Cornu, C-O-P-I-A, Cornucopia, plenty, right? So that's it's the horn of plenty. And so that it's the actually when I was in Italy, we were in Ercolano, and Ercolano is the name. Ercolano means Hercules in Italian. Ercolano. So we're in the house. This is 30 feet down, covered in ash. They dug out everything. It took who knows how many years to do this, but they dug out Ercolano. So I was in the summer home of Julius Caesar's father-in-law. All right? Julius Caesar's wife, parents, had a summer home on this seaside thing of Ercolano. They weren't there that day. They weren't there that weekend when Vesuvius went crazy, okay? And they buried the place in ash. So they have people, and you go in there, and there's a body that's just encased in stone. And you can see the whole body and everything. And they just come in and they breathed in this stuff, and that was it. It was over. But in Julius Caesar's father's house, hanging on the wall as you came in the front door, was a cornucopia, because it's the oldest symbol of prosperity and nutrition and health in the world.
Okay, so what's in your dog food? Because Lauren was feeding her dog good food. What's the quality of your food? Where's the food from?
The quality of my food is everything comes from the United States. Number one, almost everything. There are some things from all over the world, but most of the stuff comes from the United States. Okay. In the canned foods, everything comes from the United States. So it is, everything is certified organic, GMO free. And this is the problem with pet food. It's not certified organic. What it is they skirt around and tell you all these pieces of misinformation so you don't get it. Okay? And they're very good at this, because this is Madison Avenue, okay? The dirt bag of misinformation. Okay, So it's just lies. The whole thing is a lie. 90% of everything, of every dog that dies, everyone you know, everyone that Alan knows, has a dog or a cat. Everyone in the United States has one dog or one cat. 123 million households have one dog or one cat on the average. Okay, so maybe Alan has none. You have, what do you have, a cat, Alan?
I have a cat. Yes, a black cat. Yeah.
Cat. So Alan's got a cat. You've got a dog. Do you have a cat?
No.
Okay. So he's got a cat. This is a good point to make, right? Alan's got a cat. You've got a dog. The next door neighbor has nothing. The next door neighbor after that has nothing. And the next door neighbor after that has 5. So it's an average, which is hard to explain to people because people don't understand averages anymore. It's like they don't understand how to write. Okay? They don't understand how to write. They don't understand script, otherwise known as cursive. Okay? Well, it wasn't cursive when I was born. It was just script. And you better get the script right, or the nuns would beat you to death. Right? So that's it. So now you don't even learn to write anymore. You learn to print. I got a real problem writing a love letter in print. Okay. Oh, there are no more love letters. You just text to the person.
Well,
you want to marry me? I mean, really.
We should wrap up in a little bit, but what advice, or do you have a question, Lauren?
No, I'm listening.
No, I just want to know, what advice do you give pet owners? Because, Lauren, how many people do you know with sick dogs?
Oh, well, I'm in so many Facebook groups on dogs, either heart ones, that one's, George got bit by a tick and now he might have Lyme disease. So there's that. There's so many things.
Okay, so here, hold on a second. Here, can you see this? Can you see this?
Yeah.
This is Cornucopia therapy soap for people and dogs.
Oh, wow.
You gotta, where are my glasses?
What is that soap for?
Oh, no, this is for eczema and
skin problems,
eczema and psoriasis and all these, psoriasis. I mean, it's horrible. The poor people suffer so much from this crap. Okay, and so you have in here broccoli sprouts containing sulforaphane, which is what we use to help prevent. What we use sulforaphane to help prevent disease among everybody in the family. And the sulforaphane is made from broccoli sprouts. Well, this soap is made with sulforaphane. So you wash yourself with this, and it's used for psoriasis. I mean, if you can cure psoriasis with this, you can certainly prevent it. If you can cure a disease, you can prevent it. Oh my God, we said the word cure. Here they come. The guns are coming in and the whole thing and everything. Put the mask on. Put the mask on. And the mask is good for one thing. They can't identify you, You looks like Jesse James with the mask on. But anyway, this is fabulous soap. And this is what I wash with. You got it?
Uh-huh.
And you would wash the tick bite?
Can you see me smelling it?
Will it stop ticks from coming? That's that stop ticks.
Ticks hate this. Ticks hate this stuff. However, it's not. What I do is I bathe my dogs in this and I scrub them down and everything, and I use it on cats, and so. But it's really for dogs and people. Lauren disappeared.
No, she's coming back.
So anyway, what you've got to do is you got to comb your dog every night, and you got to get Hi George.
There's
Hi
George.
George. Hi
Isn't
George.
George
Hi
cute?
honey.
Look how cute George is.
You got to do this. Let me see something. Well, let me see something. Pull up his lip. I want to see his teeth. We'll do this when you come in, but no. I gotta look.
How's his teeth look?
No. You throw me. You turn his head sideways and show me his teeth.
Oh, there. Look pretty
Not
good.
bad.
No,
They're not bad. Do you give him bones?
he has some bones, but last time he got groomed, the guy like went in and cleaned his teeth. That was like a year ago, but his teeth has been pretty good.
Oh, great. So when you, being this is your child, right?
Yes.
I mean, this is your child. You are the mother of this dog, George. Is that correct, or am I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you're a mother of mothers. I mean, you've gone way over 20 grand with this dog. Okay, so it's not about money with you, and not only that. How long did you stay in Europe while he was getting the surgery?
3 weeks.
Okay, you didn't stay in a tent, did you?
No,
No.
I stayed at an Airbnb in a woman's house. She had 5 cats and 2 dogs. It was great.
Okay, but I mean, what you did is you got up and you really did something about this. All right?
Yeah, I didn't take no for an answer.
All right, so when you come to see me, what we'll do, and I do this with people over the internet every day of my life, from early morning till late at night. I go through the internet with people because they're in California, and they're in Texas, and they're in North Dakota, and they're in Canada, and they're in Bahrain, and all these places all over the world that I talk to every day. So I tell them what to do. And I tell them how to do it. But there's a difference. What I have done with you today, and you can realize this now, is that you and Alan have asked me questions. Did I answer the questions?
Yes.
Well, you talked about the food, which I guess.
Yeah, you've asked me questions about the food, about the dog, you've asked me about Noah, you've asked me about what I do.
Yeah.
Okay. So, did I answer your questions?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what did I do? Then I told you why I'm answering your question. I told you why I'm saying what I'm saying. So you go to the doctor, don't you love it? The doctor, with the white coat ceremony and all this BS, right? As Judge Judy would do. That's what it's about, right?
Yes.
That's what it's about.
Yes.
Okay. So you go to the doctor. What does the doctor do? The doctor tells you what to do. See, I don't tell anybody what to do. What I do, and I don't sell them. I don't sell anybody anything. What I do is they come to me because they're asking me. And a friend of mine said a while ago, a couple of thousand years ago, this friend of mine said, ask and you shall receive. So when somebody calls me on the phone, I will spend this time with them, this kind of time with them, and I will educate them, whether they're educatable or not. I will do my best to educate them on how to prevent disease. Oh my God! Prevent disease? How are we going to make any money if you're going to prevent disease? I mean, really? Is medicine about preventing disease? I mean, come on. Hello?
No, I agree. So you are the real alternative doctor, the real doctor for dogs and people and all animals? Because,
Catch this one, Alan.
okay.
It goes back to the Hippocrates joke, which all these guys came up to me one by one. There were 40 doctors in the room, and they all said, "You know, I wouldn't take that very lightly about you being Hippocrates, because it just may be true." You know, because I've been here a number of times, and so who knows? Who knows? I that would be a supreme. What they did was, they took a little cutting deal.
Hello?
A little cutting deal. Let's get Doc and just stick him a little bit with, we'll call him Hippocrates and all this crap, right? And the crap turned out to be not such crap. It came out to be a huge compliment, and blew back and bit him in the backside. All the ones that first came out with this. So here's what Hippocrates did. You know, you can talk all you want about chemotherapy and radiation and all this stuff and everything, and then they tell you, well, we're going to do all this. We're going to do all this. And then, so doctor, how long are you going to get my dog to live? Well, if you do the chemotherapy and we do the radiation, you do the things and everything, and we get through all that and all the sickness and vomiting and diarrhea and everything else that happens with it, that goes along with that kind of medicine, you could get 3 months.
So doctor,
So what do I do? So how do I keep that longer, that number?
The dog is sick to death for 3 months, and that has it ends its life, and you run up a bill of $24,000 or more. Okay, and that's how it is. And listen, that's a decision, because that's the standard of care.
Can you
My care is not the standard of care. My care is alternative medicine, where I mix allopathic medicine, which is standard of care medicine, with natural medicine, with preventive medicine, with herbal medicine, with other things, and I come up with a treatment. The treatment is extremely time consuming. Okay, it's like doing this show. You see my wrists? You don't see a clock, do you? You don't see a watch.
No,
Okay,
I know.
because I'm your guest. So I'm delighted to be your guest. I've known Alan for I don't know how many years.
Right.
And
Well, we should wrap up, but how can people find you? Right. What were you going to say, Laura?
I was going to ask him, so it takes a long time to do the treatment. If a dog is doing radiation chemotherapy, can they also do holistic things? Could they do vitamin C therapy at the same time as chemo, or does that defeat the purpose?
I think the devastation with chemotherapy and radiation is so bad, I don't want to get involved with it. All right? Yes, it's a big money maker thing, but that's not what I'm about. I make cornucopia. Here's how to beat cancer. There is a cure for cancer. So all you people at all the lawyers and all the stuff and all the doctors out there, here's the way to get me. Okay? I made a statement. There is a cure for cancer. Don't ever let anybody tell you there's not. You want the cure?
Yeah.
You want the cure, Alan?
Yes, give us all the cure.
Okay, here's the cure. Don't get it.
And you don't get it by
You don't get it by getting off of pet food. Nobody eats pet food. Pet food is disgusting, slimy, ground up dogs and cats in a can or in the dry food. It is disgusting.
What about treats?
The what?
What about dog treats? Is that the same thing as pet food? The treats?
Well, yeah, it's pet food. Okay, so here, you asked me a question. Now I'm going to ask you. Tell me a dog treat that you've eaten.
She doesn't eat dog treats.
Look at the face. Look at her face. It's going. Okay, nobody eats pet food. Nobody. All these veterinarians that are out there. You know, veterinarians are lovely people. They really are. They are not. They are not the zealots of the of other parts of the medical profession. Okay. They really don't mean to do harm. They just don't know what's harmful and what's not harmful. They just don't know. They don't know anything about food. So when you say, well, doctor, what should I feed my dog? Oh, any good brand. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? What a fantastic answer. Any good brand. Well, what brand do you eat, doctor?
What
do you mean?
So if people will
dash IT. I mean, they're not going to eat it. It's
no. We will get people will order Cornucopia for their dogs so they don't get sick. And if they want to make an appointment with you, what do they do?
What's your? Can they call you?
They can call me on the phone from wherever they are in the world. They can call me, and we can do a nutritional consultation by phone. Okay, but if they're in the New York and Connecticut and Jersey area, I have people coming tomorrow with their dog, and they're going to pick up food for 3 different people. They're coming. They're driving here for 4 hours from West Jersey, not New Jersey, because there isn't any New Jersey. It's just Jersey, or forget about it. Okay, so they're coming 4 hours here, then they'll be here for a couple of hours with me, and then they're going to drive home. So it's a 10-hour round trip. And here's what they're getting. Can you see this?
No.
There.
Oh, that's Cornucopia.
All right. So this is pure organic turkey. This is $12 to $16 a pound organic turkey stuffed in a can. That's it. Now notice, see this? That says USDA certified organic. Then there's Oregon Tilth. That's the certifying agency. Then there's antibiotic free range, because they're not locked up in cages like they used to do. They're out, they're roaming around, they go out, they get worms, because chickens eat worms, right? And whatever. And so GMO free and gluten free. And then watch this. Alan, can you see this?
What is that? I don't really.
This is the only can of food, the only package of food that we know of in the United States of America that holds a harm-free label. There's the medallion for harm-free. Okay, nobody's going to put that on the can. It'd be crazy. Harm-free. Well, you know what? Not only is it harm-free, we haven't had a case of cancer in 21 years. Coming up. And I know the date. And you know why I know the date? Because 11 years ago, on August 5th, I had to fly to San Diego. And I was part of this great big banquet luncheon where I received the first presidential award ever given to a veterinarian in the history of America. Okay? After that.
Which president?
I don't know who it was then. So after that, we got, but it's the first presidential award ever given to a veterinarian in the United States of America. Okay. We got in the car and we drove 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever it was, to Hollywood, to Sony Studios. And we checked in and everything, and then we got through, then we got ready to go, and all the people that were coming in and flying in and everything were there, and all the contestants for Shark Tank were there. So we spent those, and 3 days later, we made the film. And they filmed me. Before I went on, I said, I do not want a partner, because a partner is going to be a partner. You're going to have to guarantee that partner is going to make money. Okay.
Right.
And the way you really guarantee the partner makes money is you keep putting crappier food into the thing, because if you give them $1 a share as a dividend, how many years are you going to do that before they want $2 a share? And then $4 a share, and then $6 a share, and all that. So you got to produce, and the way you produce is you make garbage food more garbage than it was the year before, and you load it up with carbohydrates, and carbohydrates are what causes the cancer, because carbohydrates turn into sugar, and sugar causes the cancer. Okay.
Wow.
Right. So,
right. So remember we talked. Somebody brought up salt before.
yes, that was.
I can buy Morton's salt for pennies.
Okay.
For pennies. My salt cost $4.08 a pound.
Mhm. Okay.
Who's going to do that? You're not going to do that. What are you, crazy? People say, Doc, what are you, out of your mind? What are you putting in there?
But we know you're
because it contains every mineral on Earth is stored in this water that came out of the Indian Ocean that formed and around the Indian Ocean, came out of it when the plates crossed and the Himalayan mountains were formed, and we dig it out of the Himalayan mountains, and it's been in there for 250 million years untouched.
Wow.
Doc, we have to wrap up. That's the problem. Can we do this?
Yeah, we should do this again. Let's do this again. Definitely. Okay. When you have time. Okay. I know you're busy.
So that's why I do it. And look at the results I get. The results I get is no cancer, no diabetes, no vomiting, no heart disease, no nothing, no canine dilated cardiomyopathy, none of these diseases that we have had because we fed the food. So I, as I stated on Shark Tank, I do not cure cancer. But in the next breath, I said, but I sure as hell prevent it. And I've been preventing it and I make this funny face like this, and I go, I don't know. And you can see me doing this on Shark Tank. I don't know. I'm so candid that I forgot I was on camera. You don't want to do that on camera, right? So who cares? So I go, I don't know. It's got to be at least 10 years. Well, that was 11 years ago. So it's 21 years now that we haven't had a case of cancer.
Wow.
21 years. And everybody that you know knows has a dog and a cat, had a dog and a cat, and is going to have a dog and a cat that's going to die of 90% cancer and diabetes. Those two things. Because the cancer is caused by the genetically modified crapola that's in the food, and of course it's cheap because it's genetically modified. It's cheap crap food. Okay, and then the diabetes is because the average pet food, take the average dry pet food. The average dry pet food has 52% around, 52% around. I got to say around because somebody's going to say, well, that's not really true. It's 51.9876. Okay, right. Because that's what they do out there. They want to come out with a rebuttal, and that'll make them some sort of a pseudo intellectual or a the doctor saying, right?
But we do have to, can you just give a closing statement and we'll come back and continue the conversation?
Yeah, I can give you a closing statement that I'm looking at you guys, and you've always looked, I wish I could look like you.
Okay.
But I don't. Okay. Now you look at Lauren, and I know that Lauren's not eating 52% carbohydrate, because there'd be 3 Laurens there instead of the Lauren that I'm looking at.
I eat a lot of pasta. Too much pasta.
Right. But you are just perfect, and perfect. And so is Alan. I mean, really, who looks like Alan, right? And so you know what you can do and what you can't do, so you control it. But you never stop moving, because I've been watching you now for an hour and a half, whatever. Okay, you never stop moving, and you are burning lots of calories. The dog and the cat are lying there. They eat, they sleep, they pee, they poop, and they watch television. That's what they do all day long. The cats are locked in the house, and they get nothing because the cat is an obligate carnivore. Well, it's not an obligate carnivore. It is an obligate carnivore, but it's not an obligate carnivore, because if you let the cat out of the house, he's going to go right into the woods and eat grass and things and herbs and all that stuff. And that's why we have the broccoli sprout powder, because it's alive. So you take what's cooked in the can, it's cooked, okay? That's the preservation thing. It's cooked and it's under vacuum. That's why we do it this way. This can, it's like best consumed in 3 years. I mean, I can't even keep it in stock for 3 months, no less 3 years, okay? But Best Buy. And so what it is that this is a preservation technique by canning. This is what my grandmother did. She had cans, but the cans were glass. Mm-hmm. And the glass can was a ball mason jar. And that's how I started making my food over half a century ago. I put it in ball mason jars, and I gave it out to all my clients. And all my clients started getting better, because I took them off the horrors, the wretched scam, the lies, the deceit from people that we trusted, that's supposed to be professionals, okay, that know nothing about pet food because they never made it in their life.
Well, Doctor,
everything I've told you tonight, I've told you because you asked me a question and I told you the answer. But also, I backed it up with why. And that's why the medical professions of the United States have failed miserably, because the arrogance of, you don't have to know why, you're just a girl. He doesn't have to know why, because he's just a boy. But I am the almighty creation of God Almighty, called Doctor.
Oh, well, let's pick up that conversation.
Puke.
No, we get it.
So anyway, here they are.
Yeah.
Here they are.
Cornucopia.
Okay.
Cornucopia.
10 different versions. Another version coming out. Another flavor coming out. It's all there. And so what I tell the people when I run into a senator or a congressman or one of these other characters, all right, I tell them, listen, if you're going to be a leader like I am, I'm the world leader in the abolition of pet food. Well, what happens if you abolish pet food? Then you have cornucopia, because cornucopia is not pet food. Cornucopia is human grade, GMO free. I mean, GMO is the most scuzzy thing that's ever been done, and they did it with the G for genetics, okay? Do the G for genetics. And everybody should go on and they should look at Geoffrey Smith, right, Alan?
I know Geoffrey Smith. He's very big campaign against any GMO. But can we pick up this conversation about GMO food like next week sometime?
Yeah, can you
Sure.
all right.
Yeah, we'll do a GMO thing.
Okay.
And then we'll do, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll do a GMO thing. And here's what's happening. What you're doing, and another thing in this food, there's a little tiny bit of water in the food because the animals have water in them. So that it's only the water. There's no water added to this. Okay? When you buy pet food, you're buying water. When the value of Cornucopia is $150 a case. Who's going to pay $150 a case for a case of 12 cans? They're not going to do it. Anyway, they don't have to do it because I give it away for half of what it's worth. Less than half of what it's worth, I give it. Because you don't have to be one of the entitled to buy Cornucopia. I didn't make it for entitled people. Okay. A lot of entitled people use it, but I didn't make it for entitled people. I made it for the animals, and no matter what the income of their no matter what the income level is of the animal's parents, not their owners.
I gotta go. There's somebody.
Nobody owns the child of God. Nobody owns the child of God. Nobody owns an animal. Right. So everybody can afford it. And we did a study on that with 48 brands of pet food.
Let's pick that up next week. Can we pick that up next week?
Amazing.
Dr. Geoffrey Broderick.
Follow him everywhere, guys. Are you and I'm gonna go to your office soon, and we're gonna have you're gonna tell me about the dog stuff, but I'm gonna help you so that next week we can go on Streamlabs on mine. Hopefully soon.
Well, Lauren, what you can do is bring a camera.
That's a good idea.
That's great. Interview him in the office, Lauren.
Bring a camera. And bring Alan with you. Alan, are you in New York or are you in Hollywood?
In Long Island, but I think Lauren has so many followers. You know, it's great. I think you and her should just do something, and you know, I'll catch up with you soon. But thank you for all your time.
Yes,
it's 2 hours to set up this interview, but it was worth it.
So worth it.
Thank you.
And I want to see a picture of Noah. If you could send us all a picture of Noah somehow.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I will. Call me tomorrow and I'll do it for you.
Okay.
But you know what you heard? You know what you heard for maybe the first time in your life tonight?
What?
You heard the truth. You heard the truth. Because that's what it's about.
Well,
it's about the truth. And it's about getting through in your brain that you don't own the dog and you don't own the cat. Don't ever let a cat hear it say it. You own the cat.
I know how much you love animals. That's why you've created this product.
Because it's not just that, Alan. You're partially correct. The thing was, I created the product because I was put here to do this.
I know.
Do all this.
And you've saved lots of animals' lives by doing this. So thank you, Dr. Geoffrey.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lauren, Francesca.
Listen, God bless you.
God bless you too.
And so they can call me, they can get the book, and they can learn something because they've stopped learning after they got out of college. Get a book, study it, go to my website, and don't peruse my website, study my website, and you may just learn something.
She is going to study your website. Thank you.
So God bless everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lauren, for your patience, and I appreciate everybody. This is Alan Steinfeld for New Realities. Thank you all for watching. Thanks.
Bye, guys.